Hello everybody, Shrouded Hand here. Today's video is about something particularly disturbing. Something that may seem completely normal on the surface, but when you stop and think about it, it is not. This is about the common practice of eating the unborn baby of your pet animal to help it live longer. So, what do you think? Is this evil? Does it make you angry? If you did eat the fetus of your pets, would you do it differently? Would you know? Would it have made any difference if you did? Also, please share your thoughts on this. I want to hear from you. I personally don't think eating unborn fetuses is evil because I've heard some people say that, and I'm willing to eat some fetuses. But there's one thing that really makes me mad, and that's when some rich, privileged asshole thinks that the reason they have so many money and stuff in their house, and their parents are able to give them so much money, is because of the fact that their dumb-ass children are still alive. I like to imagine that every night when I'm asleep I think about all the fetuses that I ate and all the money I spent, and when I wake up in the morning my life has gone on, my job and everything, and that I just have to go to work and buy more things. If I can't have a house, maybe I can have a nice new car. I'd have to sell a lot of fetuses to buy that, but I guess that's okay if that's what my parents think of me. In our society, the reason we think that parents should give their unborn children to us is because they just think that we can use those to get more food, more homes, more stuff for ourselves. If that's not what you believe, maybe you should stop eating fetuses and use your money and energy for good. Like maybe pay for some doctors who are curing diseases, or some people who need food. Or even for other unborn babies that you may have eaten that might have been just as happy to be born. People don't realise how much money they're spending on their pets, and their animals are costing more and more every year. The cost of food is going up every year, and with the cost of gas, that's even going up even more. And that's just with food for your pets. If you need to get your pet to the vet, that's a whole other story. It can get expensive. If it's something you're interested in and you think you want to try this, go ahead and do it. Just don't do it right away, and make sure you're not doing it for yourself. That way you won't feel bad afterwards. When I was young I wanted a pet, and one of the things I wanted most was to have a monkey. I even looked at pet shops, and I even asked my mother if she wanted to buy me one, but she said no. So I wanted one, and one day, when my parents weren't home, I found out that my friend's dad had just brought home this pet monkey, so I asked him if I could go see it, but he said no. So I wanted to see this monkey, and so one day, without telling my parents, I snuck out and went to the backyard and looked at the monkey. I was so happy I was able to see it, but I didn't want to eat the fetus of my pet, so I went inside to tell my parents that I was home, and I hid because I was scared they'd ask me what I'd been doing. But my parents weren't home, and I looked at the monkey a little bit more, and I thought that maybe I should try eating the monkey fetus, but I was scared and I didn't know what would happen, so I came home and told my mother that my friend's parents didn't want me to see their monkey. And so I told her that I'd seen it, but I didn't want to eat the fetus of my pet. So she told me that I had to talk to my father about it, and I told him that I had seen the monkey, and I even showed him the picture of the monkey that I had looked at, and so he said, "If you like it so much, I'll give it to you." And so I asked my parents if I could see it again, and they said yes, and so I went and looked at the monkey, and he was a nice monkey, but I didn't want to eat his fetus. And so I went back to my room and I cried. It made me think of the time when I was much younger and I was just getting to know my parents, and one day I asked my parents if I could have a pet and they said no. But I wanted one so badly, and I asked them why they didn't want me to have a pet, and they said it would just get in the way, that they didn't have time to care for it, that they would end up just being busy. And so I wanted to get a pet, and they said they couldn't give me one, but after thinking about it they ended up bringing home a monkey, and that's why I asked my parents if I could see it. It was such a nice monkey, and it was so smart, and I loved it so much, and I loved it even more when my parents were home, but I really wanted to eat the monkey fetus. My parents said that I could have a monkey if I wanted, and so I brought it into my room and I gave it lots of kisses and hugs and stuff, and that's when the monkey started growling at me and it started to bite me, and it scared me a little. And it knocked the food off the table, and I was scared, and I didn't know what to do, and so I ran out of my room, and I was so scared I could cry. And I thought that it would really hurt the baby, but I had to see my parents, and my parents said that they were really sorry, but that I couldn't have the monkey, but that I could if I wanted, and I should just forget about it, and that they didn't want me to get hurt, and that I should just forget it, and I was a big girl, and it would hurt me more if I got hurt, and I should just forget it. And I told them that I would like to have the monkey, and I didn't want to get hurt, and that I would be really careful. So I brought the monkey back, and I tried to give it lots of love and stuff, and so I fell asleep. I had to go to the bathroom, and I got up and I went into my bathroom and I locked the door, and when I opened the door I saw lots of blood, and I thought that my parents were trying to kill the monkey, but they were trying to save the baby. And so I opened the door and I was still holding the monkey, and the monkey was still growling, and the blood was starting to spread, and I was starting to get really scared. And so I put the monkey down and I held him, but the blood was still coming, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know what was going to happen, and the blood kept coming, and it was all over the monkey, and I was crying, and I was holding him, but I was still scared and I didn't know what to do. And I heard my parents and I called them to my room, and I was so scared, and I was getting really scared that I didn't know what to do. And my parents came and they took the monkey and they gave me some food, and they made me some tea, and they told me that they would call the vet, but they said that the monkey would be okay, but the baby had already been hurt and it was killed. So I didn't know what to do, but I felt bad because I was scared, and I went back to sleep, and I thought about the monkey, and I was so happy that it wasn't hurt, and I was happy that I didn't eat the fetus of my pet, and I was happy that I didn't eat the fetus of my pet, but I was scared. A few weeks ago I was messing around with some artificial intelligence program, just giving it prompts and seeing if it could write a script for me, and I found it really stupid and funny, so I posted it on Instagram, and a lot of people commented saying I should record it and put it up as an April Fool's joke, so there you go. It's not a very advanced AI, to be honest. This was just making up any old story based on a one sentence prompt. So what I'd like to do if I had more technical knowledge is to use one of those programs where I can feed it a lot of my scripts and then it'll generate a script based on what it thinks I would say. That would be interesting to see. As far as I know, I've never eaten the fetus of a monkey or any other animal for that matter. If you want a more serious video, then maybe check out one of the links on screen now. Alright, thanks everyone. Until next time, goodbye.